You've missed your aircraft, Miss Palmer.
Missed it? Well, why didn't you keep it waiting?
We did, for 15 minutes.
But I must get to the mainland. I have to be in New York in the morning.
There's nothing, Miss Palmer.
Nothing?
Only a charter flight at 45.
You'll have to lay on an aircraft.
We haven't one.
Who's chartering the 45?
Gentleman over there, Mr. Drake.
Your aircraft is ready to leave now, sir.
Thank you.
Will you come this way?
After you, gentlemen.
We weren't kept waiting a minute, Mr. Wilson.
Excellent service, Mr. Jones.
Mr. Drake? I'm Bobby Palmer.
Oh? Well, good morning, Miss Palmer.
I have to get to the mainland, Mr. Drake. It's most urgent. There isn't another flight today. Could you possibly...
In normal circumstances, I'd be delighted. Unfortunately, in this case, it's impossible.
Impossible? But you have plenty of room.
Sorry, Miss Palmer. If you'd excuse me, please.
Mr. Drake, I don't think you quite understand. I'm Bobby Palmer, Thomas Palmer's daughter. My father is president of this airline.
Well, that must be very nice for him. And for you, Miss Palmer. Good morning.
Miss Jean. Can I help you, Mr. Drake?
What is this, Miss Palmer?
I'm afraid you can't make the trip without a stewardess, Mr. Drake.
Now, look.
Sit down, Mr. Drake.
Unfasten your seatbelt.
You sure you can manage, Mr. Drake?
Oh, yes, I can manage. Thank you very much, Miss Palmer.
Good. Are you gentlemen all right?
Yes, thank you.
Every government has its Secret Service branch. America, it's CIA. France, Deuxième Bureau. England, MI5. A messy job? Well, that's when they usually call on me or someone like me. Oh, yes. My name is Drake. John Drake.
Unfasten your seatbelts now, gentlemen.
And you can smoke now if you wish.
Can I do anything to make you two gentlemen comfortable?
They look deceptively innocent, but I should warn you that they're two very dangerous men.
Oh, come now, Drake. You exaggerate the situation. We're not contagious, you know.
My name's Wilson, and this is Mr. Cassius Jones.
We certainly wouldn't do anything to harm anyone as lovely as you are, Miss Palmer. I've read a great deal about you, you know, my dear. Often commented on your beauty, your joie de vivre. Isn't that so, Mr. Wilson?
Oh, indeed you have, Mr. Jones.
Will you have a cigarette?
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Beauty and riches. A rare combination. The one complements the other. Don't you think so, Mr. Wilson?
Oh, I do, indeed, Mr. Jones.
Oh, excuse me a minute.
You cable the mainland?
Yes, Mr. Drake. There's a plane waiting at Montreal and a car at Idlewild.
Good.
Another chartered plane. And a car. Swift and in style.
It's almost a pleasure to be a guest of the American government.
The pilot would like to have a word with you, Mr. Drake.
Right, thank you.
Summoned to the flight deck, eh?
We're in safe hands.
Unfortunately.
I think I'll steal 40 winks.
How lucky you are. This active mind of mine. You wouldn't have any reading matter aboard?
I expect so. I'll go and have a look.
So you want us to transfer you straight to the other aircraft in Montreal without going through customs?
That's right.
Okay, I'll signal ahead and get customs to come out and meet us.
Fine, thanks very much.
By the way, am I permitted to ask who your friends are?
Oh, yes, they're a couple of professional assassins. I've been after them a long time.
How cozy.
Here you are, Mr. Jones. Take your pick.
Thank you. Oh, rare feast. Travel, sport, politics. There's an article in here about Prince Pasquale. Charming man. We met him last year, shortly before his brother was assassinated. Tragic affair. You don't happen to have any coffee on board?
I dare say we can manage that.
Thank you.
Sit down.
Now turn her back. Crash land her on the beach. We should be putting down around 15:20. Miss Palmer, would it be too much to ask the boss's daughter for some coffee?
Well, it could have been worse. At least we're still alive.
Yes, my pilot isn't. Or my security officer. I saw Jones and Wilson drifting off to the west.
Do you think they'll make the island?
I don't know. I'll hide this in case they do. So you haven't got the gun?
That will be far enough.
Now, Mr. Wilson, there's no need to be so aggressive. Mr. Drake wasn't threatening you. You see, Mr. Drake, you frightened him. But now Mr. Wilson's frightened. He's a dangerous man. We must reassure him. Let's settle our quarrel. Let's call a truce.
You're not taking us anywhere now. There's no way you can take us.
From the appearance of this island, there's no one living here at all.
So you see, Mr. Drake, you'll have no allies. It's man to man now.
2 men to 1.
All right, Mr. Jones. I'll make a deal with you. We'll have a truce for the time being. You stay on your side of the island, and we'll stay on ours.
Now, Mr. Drake, that's a deplorable attitude. Somehow we have to find food and water. Our problem is survival. We must all pull together. We have one common enemy now, Mother Nature herself.
And we'll fight her independently.
Now, Mr. Drake, we must pool our resources. But think of the danger to Miss Palmer.
That's exactly what I am thinking of. Come along, Miss Palmer.
Stop! You'll do what Mr. Jones tells you.
Really, Mr. Wilson, you're no sooner away from civilization than you're behaving like a savage. Come, Mr. Wilson. We won't inflict ourselves on them if they don't want us. A desert island. How often I've dreamt about this as a boy.
I can't go any further.
Thought you said you were hungry.
Yeah, well, I was, and now I'm too thirsty to be hungry.
Well, I'm afraid we won't get a drink by sitting here. Come on.
And anyway, why didn't you fix him? If there's anyone living here and he gets to them first, they'll be in touch with the mainland.
You're such a pessimist.
We'll be trapped here with no way of escape.
We haven't even seen a track or a trace of civilization. The island's deserted.
You hear that? Must be water somewhere around here. No, just a minute. You never know. All right, go ahead.
At least you won't die of thirst.
No. Nor of hunger. Tracks of sheep and goats. I think we'll camp here.
Well, couldn't we eat some of those frogs?
No.
Why not? The French do.
Oh, we don't. They're the wrong sort.
Mr. Drake, I'm hungry.
Yes, I know. I'm afraid there's nothing we can do about it till the morning. Go to sleep if you can. Forget about it.
I'm hungry to go to sleep.
Yeah. I'm going to collect some more wood for the fire. Good evening.
I have been looking for you, brother.
Looking for us?
I saw your plane fall into the sea.
You live on the island?
I do.
Many others?
I live alone.
You were stranded here?
I came here of my own free will to escape the wicked ways of the world.
If you live here, you must have a house and food.
Come with me. I have a cave. There is food.
How often do boats visit the island?
They come here sometimes.
Regular intervals?
Every now and then. Come on. See, brother, I have sought out the sinners and delivered them to you.
You have indeed, Mr. Kane. Miss Palmer, would you both come in closer to the fire?
Do as you are told, brother.
What have they been telling you about us?
The truth, Mr. Drake. How Mr. Wilson and I were escorting you and this lady back to the States to stand trial.
What?
And how you tried to escape and caused the plane crash.
And took the life of the pilot.
Poor boy.
We should all pray that you may be forgiven.
You don't mean you believe these two men?
Silence!
Well, really?
You see, she's quite unrepentant.
And her husband murdered.
My husband murdered? But I'm not even married.
Shame on you!
Do you know who I am? I'm Bobby Palmer. Tell him about me.
I'm sure he's never heard of Bobby Palmer.
But he thinks that we're dangerous
Cassius
criminals.
Jones is a very convincing liar.
I turn the other cheek. Let them sit down and eat.
You are a good man, Mr. Jones.
Must be a lonely life here on the island.
It is my choice. The civilized world seems harder to me. I can live in peace here.
How often does the boat call?
Boats mean nothing to me. I have my sheep, goats, milk, fish. What more does the man want?
I was just wondering where you got the coffee.
You see, Mr. Kane, the workings of the criminal mind. He was just wondering when the next boat would call. Just wondering whether he had time to dispose of us all and leave the island a free man.
It's hard to believe that anyone could be so wicked.
The depravity of man.
Thanks for the food, Mr. Kane. I'm obliged. Since you've been so kind, I think that I ought to warn you that these two gentlemen here have been telling you a pack of lies. They're professional murderers, hired assassins. They're in my charge, and I'm taking them for trial.
Professional murderers?
Hired assassins.
Drake's been reading too many paperbacks. Time for some sleep.
Not with Drake around, thank you.
We'll take turns keeping guard. You must be tired. I'll keep an eye on him. Give me the gun.
I need little sleep. I meditate during the hours of darkness.
But he's a killer.
If you should fall asleep,
I won't.
He was trying to get the gun.
I struck him. I have done wrong.
You fell asleep. We said you would. Now, give me the gun and I'll take over.
No. You come here. You confuse me. You make me sin.
Give me the gun!
No, brother. I shall not sleep again.
Mr. Kane is right.
Are you all right?
Fine.
Good morning, Mr. Kane.
Good morning, brother.
You must be exhausted after your long night's vigil.
Those unfortunate young people. What will happen to them?
That's out of our hands now.
It is hard to believe they have such honest faces.
But faces can be so deceptive.
That is not always so, brother. Our lives are mirrored in our faces. The good shines out, and the evil cannot be hidden.
Well, we'll be needing more water. I'll keep an eye on the cave while you go and fetch it. Better let me have the gun, though.
I will stand guard. You'll find the spring at the end of that path. And there's the bucket.
Ah, yes. The old oaken bucket.
7 o'clock and a fine sunny morning. I envy you, Mr. Kane, living here, away from the cares of the world. How wise you are. Good morning, Mr. Wilson.
Good morning, Mr. Jones. I'm just off to the spring to fetch some water for Brother Kane. Just look at this bucket. It's a fine, solid job, isn't it? They don't make them like this nowadays.
No, they don't indeed. Well, run along. You'll find us out here, enjoying the sun.
I'll be right back.
Quick, we have to find these cartridges.
Well, Mr. Kane, when I get back home, what tales I'll have to tell. Marooned on a desert island, shared a cave with a hermit, who, if I may say so, is one of the most fascinating characters it's ever been my pleasure to meet.
No, Mr. Jones, that is not true.
But it is true. You mustn't be so modest.
I know you for what you are. You are flattering me to deceive me.
Mr. Kane, how can you say such a thing?
Come on out, Drake. Come on, Drake.
What does the boat call next? There's a fisherman. Comes here nearly every day. If I want him, I give him a signal. Get out. Stay here.
Mr. Drake? Mr. Drake, I want to speak to you. I'm sorry about that little misunderstanding in the cave. Look, Mr. Drake, I'm not armed. I'm sure we can have some
Need some rope to tie them up. You got any?
Here comes the fisherman. He'll have some.
You see that leg, Mr. Jones? Yes, I know it hurts, but you could have saved yourself all this trouble.
How right I am to seek solitude.